Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Aliens Genocide, issue number 204 by Dark Horse Comics. Beautiful looking cover by Arthur Sidam. Beautiful colors as well. Look how big he is. It's amazing. Let's dive in. If you want to know what I'm talking about here in this comic or what the story is, just, I got a number one review of Aliens Genocide on my channel, so check that out. So this guy here is getting okay. Well, you know exactly what's happening here. I mean, this guy is sleeping, and then there's a story. Hey, Daniel, Mr. Grant, sir, it's time to wake up, Mr. Grant. We got a lot to do. So hop to it. And then he opens his eyes and then sees this creature. So I thought, okay, this is probably a nightmare, but no. It's actually a hologram. And he gets the scare of his life. I mean, if that happened to me, I would get a heart attack and die in a second. Listen, and this woman here says, I knew that would get you up and round. And he's, pissed off and storms off. And he says, oh, don't worry, Mr. Grant, it's just a training hologram, see? And I says, sorry, but your military yokes don't quite cut it when with a civilian, Miss Lee. But then she doesn't take that lightly, that word, because she says it's Major Lee. And yeah, you're a civilian, but you're also the one who wanted to play big white hunters. So get used to the atmosphere. And then and he makes some quirky comment, and then he storms off, and then he meets with this guy. And this is Hendrickson. Is Corporal? Yes, Corporal. And I don't know, there's something off with this guy. I don't know what. I can't put my finger on it because I haven't read the other comics yet. He could be easily passed as a Terminator. But, well, this is the alien universe, so no Terminators here. Maybe it's one of these synth robots thingies. These like in a movie, like the actor Lance Henriksen is portrayed. What do you call those robots? I forget. Doesn't matter. Let's move on. And so Grant says, say that Major of yours is a real pain in the ass, eh? But Henriksen says, yeah, she's tough, but I think that's good. And but Grant says, and he pushes his buttons, he says, come on, you don't have to pull the crap with me. Tell the truth. You hated her for months, right? But then he says, I haven't been with the corpse that long, but the Major already earned my respect. She's totally in command, and she still treats everyone as equal. There aren't many people you can say that about. You know what I mean? And he says, see you at debriefing update, sir. Yeah. And then we switch to the ship itself, and I said, oh man, that's a cool looking ship, because normally we are are used to those big, bulky, long, square cargo vessels that has been in alien movies and comics a lot. So, but I believe this is a military vessel, so that could be it, and it looks really great. So Major Lee is doing the briefing about what they are going to do. They need this stuff. But you see all these pots surrounding the queen, and she says, well, we have to be careful with that because we don't know what kind of creatures are in there, but they are probably pretty dangerous. She also shows the hologram of the normal alien, and that, she talks about how to approach these creatures, because if you shoot them in the head, there's a lot of splatter effects. If you shoot them in the chest, there's a lot of big wounds with the acid blood spouting out, so that's not good. So you have to shoot them in the knees, practically immobilizing them, and then you can finish them off. So, and then she is introducing a doctor called Dr. Zato, and then Dr. Zato says, hey, I have made an invention, the Z-110 Acid Neutralizing Wardrobe. So basically he's saying that, it's very hard to deal with the blood, and he created some kind of an enzyme, some kind of a gel that he's putting over these armor suits and neutralizing the acid blood. So it's basically very safe to to use these bulky, very slow armor. But Grant, approaches Major Lee and she says, "Hey, I wanted to show you something, and can you please come with me?" And so Anderson is coming with her, and then he shows this. So Major Lee says, "What happened here? This is supposed to be a storage chamber." Well, it is still, but it's more than that. And then we see this. And I must say, I'm not a big fan of the faces, that the artist is doing. But everything else, it looks very, very cool. There's a lot of detail everywhere. I love that. So basically they are saying that there's some kind of a process going on, and Major Lee immediately recognizes what's going on, and she's pissed, and she says, "My God, I've seen this before. You're breathing on one of those damn things." And Grant says, "Take it easy. The host isn't really alive. It can't feel any pain, And there's a reason for that, why she's doing. And then this whole transformation, or, well, not really a transformation, but maybe inside of this, whatever this thing is. So, that alien bursting out of this, So this is some kind of a clone. How do they call it? Let me, it's a donut clone. Well, I'm always right. And so Major Lee is getting pissed off, and she walks away and says, "I've seen enough. Come on, Corporal." And Grant says, "Major, wait, let me explain." But then this guy, there is something wrong with this guy too. So we go to the mess hall where everybody is eating because there is no day and night cycle. So and this guy is playing the saxophone, and his buddy here says, "Can you not do that because I'm eating and I don't want to have those loud noises?" And he says, "Hey man, chill, hey." And then he says, "I also got this XenoZip." Now, what is the XenoZip? Very quickly, it's a very dangerous, but also a very highly addictive. It's not really a medicine, but like a drug. And Grant is making those XenoZips, right? He's distributing all over the world because he is, the big pharmaceutical big guy. So there's a reason why he's on board on this military vessel. And but then this guy is talking about Hendrickson, and he is, what's the American word? Talking behind his back. What is another word for it? Anyway, so he talks shit about Hendrickson. And I really love what's happening here. I mean, do you remember when you watch a horror movie, or maybe you have a dream that you're walking in a corridor and that the corridor is stretching out, like in that Evil Dead movies? Well, the same is happening here, but that's reversed, because there's a distance here, and here's Anderson, but then it's also getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And then he's next to him. And he says, "Come on, say that in my face," right? And he's really angry. He says, say it. And then his buddy says, "Well, take a chill, man. Here's some Xeno pills to make it all even." And he says, "Well, if I'm going to do this, it's going to be, then you are in big trouble, because I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm probably kill you all." That's not what he's saying, but that's what he's referring. So Grant comes in, and he is making a little bit of jokes here and there. And then Major Lee is, on the outside, and he says, "Major, could we just talk a minute, please?" And then basically these guys breaking up now as well, because, well, you don't have to fight in a mess hall. And but Grant shows a little bit more his human side. So when I see and read the first pages of where Grant is in it in the first book, I thought, oh, this is the typical corporate sleazeball that risk everybody's life for his own profit, and he basically admits that here as well. So he explains the situation, and he wants to basically make amends with Major Lee, and he says, "Can I talk to you about?" He said, "I want to explain alien incubation." He says, "I don't think I want to hear this," she says. "Believe it or not, I'm trying to save lives." He said, "What the hell are you talking about?" He said, "You're risking good marine lives for the freaking jelly. That's what they are trying to harvest. For profit, you ruthless bastards." "Well," he says, "as well as my own life, and I have to do it again as soon as I run out of the stuff, unless I can bring the source home with me." So he explains, And I love the difference of color and the contrast here. She says, "No way, mister. If you want to kidnap that queen mother thing, you're not using my people." But Grant says, "Hear me out. My research tells me that if you want to feed that infant creature down below on his jelly, it matures to queenhood surrounded by the goop. It would become a queen mother itself. Yes, ultimately, my goal is to make money. You call it ruthless. I call it survival. But the truth is, once I got a source of this jelly close to home, I never have to risk another life to get it." Well, that makes actually sense. So, yeah, that's not a bad idea, Grant, but it's, not the best idea. I mean, it's still dangerous. So Major Lee makes a little bit of fun of him, but then something happens. There's a guy in this room, and he has some kind of a cannon, which looks incredible, looks really cool, and it blasts this infant alien to hell. Okay, I did that on purpose. So then the alarm goes off, and he says, what the hell is going on? Where are the sirens for? So they are run to these cargo whole thingy area, and then this guy's crying. He says, "Oh my God, she was so young, so beautiful." And he's raging. He says, "Which one of you monsters did it? Which one have killed my baby?" So they try to investigate because they found the weapon, and she says, "Well, it's very hard to find out who did this, because everyone can access, because they are soldiers, the locker room where where the guns and ammo is." But then Grant says, "Well, that can be true, but not everyone on the ship knew about the creature, did they?" So that's interesting. And then we see a gorgeous shot of the U.S.S. Razzia, and they are, in one couple of cycles, they're going to the planet to get after to kidnap the queen or the Yelly or whatever they are going to do. But Grant is here in the mess hall. He is thinking. So Major Lee comes and they have a talk, and he says, "Mind if I joined you? I wish you would. I can't believe I looked the possibility. Everyone knows that this mission fails. I'm history." And but she says, "If you ask me, it's better this way. Something tells me you would have got more than you have bargained for with Dr. Field at the helm." "So you're probably right," he says, "but that isn't the point. The sabotage will continue a lot more than money could be lost next time." But she is, being a little bit casual about it. She says, "Well, it's going to be all fine." And she says, "I'm not surprised because I'm fighting monsters for years," he says. So she's not really scared of what's happening, but he is. And he says, "Take it from someone who knows. Nothing is deadlier than the enemy within." That's a nice pun. And they are getting ready for, because it's 0 hour now. That's basically what he says here. And this guy taking his saxophone with him. Is he a little bit on the edge because he's taking the Xeno stuff that makes him calmer somehow, which not entirely sure that's actually is going to happen. Again, lots of nice details, etc. And then Grant says, "Hey, what are you doing here? Where's the doctor?" Well, Dr. Friel, he says, was supposed to make the landing, but he's in no condition to work right now. So there is something off with this guy, definitely. So he's coming aboard, and then so they are gonna, using the pod to enter the atmosphere. And again, the colorist is doing a terrific job, depicting what's here, because you really get a sense of danger with not only the colors but also the heavy blacks, but also the extremely, in my opinion, very detailed things that's happening here. How you have, I believe, some kind of a tornado, or I'm not sure how you call it, but turbulence, all these swirling, drawings here and images, smoke, clouds, whatever. It's very cool, and they are hanging here. And also, there's a lot of detail in here. I mean, they're talking about what's happening on the surface, and I'm going to show you what is happening on the surface in a second. But I want to talk about how good this book looks really. Like I said, the facials, the facial expressions, or how they've been drawn, not so much. But there's a lot of things going on. And I'm not going to rant, but this is not what you see in modern comics anymore. You know, you see, look at this chair. It looks very complicated, but there's a lot of things going on. You know, we have this guy with the suit on with all these tubes. Then we have this thing here in the front with the buttons. And then we have whatever is here below that suggests that this chairs can turn, you know, to left and to the right. And then we have this pretty cool design with maybe some imagery here, some stats, some buttons here and there. And then we have also this guy with the helmet open. And look at this. I'm going to show you just because I love this so much. Look at this, how much stuff is inside. That's not what modern artists are doing anymore. They just have a screen with nothing on it, even though this page is so big. They throw some blue colors on there, and that's it. No details, just squares, blue colors, bam, that's your art. That's your background. Here in this small tiny panel, so much going on, and I respect it so much. I love that. I miss that. I really miss that because it's so immersive. It's so cool. It looks so. You can actually see that at that time, not always, but most of the time, artists, you know, trying to do the best to show off their art. That's not what's happening anymore. I mean, if you do okay, I have to stop myself because I'm going to ramble about that shitty Marvel comic. Okay, I'm going to show you the last page because they say, so what does the reading says? He says, well, judging from the surface activity, there's a war going on. Oh my God, this looks so freaking cool. This is it. This. Look at this. All these different aliens try to kill each other. Wow, and there's a storm and there's lightning. I believe it's lightning or whatever it is. Smoke, acid, detail on the arms, detail on the legs and the tails. And, you know, look at this. Oh, man. This is so cool. I love it. Guys, tell me what you think about it. Yeah, this is good. This is good. It's just fun. I see you next time. Bye-bye.